fuck is this shit? We got to get some good music up on this thing. Damn.
All right, everybody walking in. This is Real Talk with Spoon and Puddin, episode 6. Red's here with us. I'm the one and only.
We got some.
One and only Big Spoon.
This be Puddin and over there be Red. Right, Red?
Yes. Hello. How are you all?
I hear the feedback. There you go. Told you to turn that Facebook off.
It's gone.
Oh.
What's going on this morning, fellas?
Another day.
Well, I felt like crap for like last week.
Looked like it too.
I know it.
You just gave me a free nipple shot a minute ago. God.
We'll wait till we get some people in there. They may want a shot too.
Oh, okay. Hey, you're supposed to charge for that now. Remember OnlyFans.
Yeah. See, I told you I already made some money off OnlyFans and I ain't posted a pic yet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boy.
No, man, I can't get enough rest. And when I do get enough rest, I can't get through the night at work. Like after midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm like dead tired. My head's all fuzzy. Can't hardly stay awake. I don't know what it is.
You shouldn't be saying that. I mean, remember, DOT says your clock, you got to keep it.
Hey, I'm following all the rules.
Well, you're following the rules, but that's the problem with the rules. They tell you when you're tired and when you're not tired.
So you're saying I should just pull over and take a nap on the clock?
Sure, why not?
I was doing that anyway.
Everybody else there does. Surprised you're not out in the oil fields today, Red.
Not my weekend to work, thank God.
Oh, that's okay.
You work next weekend?
Yeah. I believe so. Yes, I may. I don't know. I was just recently told I was looking at the schedule wrong, so I thought I was the backup this weekend, and the primary driver doesn't have a CDL, so that inevitably means if there's anything to haul, that it'll be me. So you typically just say, "Yep, I'll be working 2 weekends in a row."
That's all right. Next week we're going to do it at night. You'll be off by then.
Right. So I guess with that in mind, you could see the president, releasing the strategic oil reserves has halted the escalating price of oil, and therefore, the price at the pump is falling in pennies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's falling about as much as a loyalty card will give you anyway.
It shoots up 30 cents and drops 3. Shoot up 30, drop 3. It's like the fishing pole with the fake bait. We're swimming trying to grab it. And every time we grab it, oh shit, that wasn't really food. Oh shit, that really wasn't food.
No. Ain't nothing getting better.
Well, I've seen a lot of memes. People were posting about that, about the releasing your reserves instead of drilling and stuff. You've seen some of those?
They've got plenty. There's plenty of pipes in the ground. I mean, my dad was telling me about this years ago when he was still working in a phone company. He said that he's seen a drilling crew in Florida drilling pipes in the ground, and then he asked them what they were doing with it, and they said, "Well, we're capping it." And he said, "Well, why?" He's like, "There's oil down there," and they're like, "Yeah, there's a lot of oil down there." And I was like, "Well, why are you going to cap it?" And he said, "Because in case we need it later." There's plenty of oil in this country. We got more oil than we know what to do with. But
but the rich powers that be over here, they want to run the rest of the world out of the oil, which is not going to happen. That way they can sit on top and they can set their price. But
supply and demand. I mean, if America wanted to start really dragging it out of the ground, they could flood the market with it and lower the price and crush the market.
But they don't want to do that.
No, they got their own agenda.
Yeah, I mean, they have their own wanting to make money as far as that. So that's the. I mean, in the end, trust me, the people that we supply the parts for, they're making money right now with the oil set where it's at. So they're definitely, they're motivated to get oil out of the ground. They're just not motivated necessarily to become the world leader on the market, and as you said, flood the market, because then the price goes down.
It's like big pharma and the doctors. They have cures for certain diseases and things, but if they put it out there, they don't make the money.
Oh yeah, I mean, Chris Rock joked about that a long time ago. My AIDS acting up decay.
Yeah.
They don't want to cure you. They just want you to go on another. Just
They
going
call
down
it
the road
practicing medicine for a reason, so we can keep you coming back.
I don't know. A cure doesn't mean you come back no more.
Nope.
Well, right. Yeah. So we need to get back into the business of curing people and rather than treating symptoms.
I mean,
that's another thing. What about that Will Smith stuff? That was funny.
Well, I posted a meme yesterday. It said I got more trouble on social media than Will Smith did for assaulting Chris Rock on live TV.
I didn't know much about them. I mean, I always thought they were okay, but
this is what I personally think. My opinion is Hollywood has went downhill so far in the last 20 or so years. And it was all show to get everybody talking about it and buzzing about it again. This is my opinion.
If that hadn't happened, I wouldn't even known the Oscars even happened.
Yeah, me either.
I didn't either. Yeah, I just heard something about it, and then I was like,
I could care less about their pomp and ceremony, but I don't know. I guess lots come out, and a lot of people made a lot of funny videos about it, with the fact that Jada's cheated on him quite a bit, very publicly. I was like, oh, why? If that's the case, why wouldn't you just start laughing, and when she got mad, just let her be?
Dude, it was just a G.I. Jane joke. I wish Chris Rock would have nut punched him.
That was funny. It was kind of comical, but I don't really care about them people.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think it was more staged than anything to get the buzz going for everybody to talk about Hollywood. Because, I mean, when's the last time you actually went and watched a movie at a theater and been a good movie?
Love you.
No, I've seen some good movies, but since COVID era, I've been watching them at home rather than watching them.
Suicide Squad was the last time I went in the theater, and I was so disappointed.
Yeah, but if you had Disney Plus and some of these other apps, you can watch them as soon as they hit the theater from home. That's what I'm talking about. They're not making the money at the box office that they were 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Don't get me wrong, the theaters, the atmosphere is nice, and it's kind of cool, but I mean, when you can sit at home and drink and have whatever you want, that just seems like the better option.
Yeah, we went last week, I think, and watched that movie Dog. Took Khaleesi, the 6-year-old, and it's nice to go sit in those comfortable seats and all that, but I'd much rather just sit at home and watch it.
Right. Skipping for a moment, one of the ladies that I work with, I ended up showing her that, and she thought that the whole Will Smith and Chris Rock thing, just going back a little bit, she just thought it was staged. She thought it was a publicity stunt, was her opinion.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
because they're both actors. Even Chris Rock, although he is a comedian, he has been acting in movies and all that. Going to the Lethal Weapons movies back in the mid to late 80s, and definitely knows how to take a punch and knows how to. And Will Smith, of course, knows how to throw a punch. As an actor, that is. So her thought was that it was just a staged event in order to gain publicity, whether it's for the Academy Awards or whether it's for the two of them. Who knows? Maybe the two of them have worked on a movie over the summer, and and they've got something coming up this coming summer, and or even kind of give it some buzz to go like, hey, the two of them are in a movie. It'll be ironic if it comes out that the two of them are like, adversaries in a movie or something like that. And then they've done the whole little thing there. Yeah. It really would fall into, at the end, a conspiracy.
Well, the two things that come to my mind when it happened, and I've seen it, I don't know if we want to open this can of worms, was the first was this conspiracy. All right. The second was with all the crime, especially the black on black crime we have in America, and you want to do it on live TV. Like, what are y'all fighting against? And here you're going to put it out in plain view.
Right.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's whatever. It is, whatever. I didn't even know. I heard about it, and I was like, "Oh, Oscars this week." I don't know.
The video that most of your media sites put out there, they just shown that clip, but they didn't show the whole before and after. Because after he slapped him, Will Smith from the audience was, when Rock was talking about it, was yelling, "Keep my wife's name out of your motherfucking mouth."
Oh, I know. They tried to kill the feed.
But if you go to the right places, you can still watch it. But like you said, they're actors. I think that's staged too.
Who knows?
Because I feel like Chris Rock. I like Chris Rock. I feel like him. I feel like him being a man. I like Will too, but I feel like even though he's an actor and a comedian, I think I know him enough of a man that I wouldn't care if you're on live TV or not. If a man really seriously walked up and slaps you, you're not gonna just take it like you're taking it, and then I'm not gonna press charges.
I don't know.
Right. Well, what I liked was especially since it happened in LA, was that the police department or the district attorney's office, rather than just saying, "Hey, it was on TV, so we have plenty of witnesses to the event," they just left it alone. I have heard, the celebrities that have come out and said, or even just local folks, man, if you were to walk up and just jack slap somebody, your ass would have been in jail. As far as that, but it's nice that the legal system is not necessarily making a larger deal of it than they need to be.
It don't count for celebrities. Don't you know that? They got a different legal system.
Right. So, it's
celebrities and Congress and, people in power, they all have a different legal system.
Right. Like the police,
Yeah. They insider trade and it's no big deal.
They don't have to follow the same laws they enforce.
Well, they insider trade, no big deal. And they, Martha Stewart does it. Let's lock her up.
What's rumored, like Hollywood is the biggest pedophile and sex traffic ring, the home base of it,
I don't, I heard Epstein's Island's coming up for sale. Y'all ready to buy it at a discount?
I guess a few crimes have been committed there.
A few thousand.
Clinton was there. No, what could be going wrong? Bill Gates went there. Nothing went wrong. These people are upstanding people, and all they do is care about you. They wouldn't commit any crimes.
Well, Bill Gates was there just issuing vaccines.
Yeah.
Oh, Bill Gates was there, and Clinton was there passing out cigars.
Bill Gates was there, injecting his vaccine into all of them.
Yeah. Well, you got
Is that what they call it these days?
Huh?
I knew it was going over his head.
Honey!
injecting his vaccine.
You need a vaccine.
No, I'm saying I guess Clinton went there so he could hand cigars to the miners, huh? Because you couldn't do that here. It's an island. They have their own rules.
Hey, don't pick on Bill Clinton now. The only thing he ever did was smoke a cigar, smoke some weed, and get a blowjob in office. What's wrong with that?
I'm surprised. Only a blowjob? That's it? Set the bar a little higher, Mr. Clinton.
Well, look what he was working with at home.
Well, what was the joke about what Hillary does when she saves her vagina? She sends him to work.
if Bill got an Irish rudder, it'd been a step up from what he had at home.
Hell, Chris Rock, speaking to him, he joked about it a long time ago. He's like, when Monica Lewinsky was there, she should have been like, "No, I got the dick. It's okay. Tickle his balls or something." Oh God. No, Chris Rock was real good back in the day. He used to have a lot of stuff be pretty on point. They would probably shut him up now.
One of my famous quotes from him was for the insurance companies. He said, "I pay you in case shit happens. If shit don't happen, shouldn't I get my money back?"
Mm-hmm. Well, no, you got to pay for everyone else. That's the idea of social. But
that goes to our Social Security argument.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it gets right
You
back
pay in to pay everybody else's, and then when you need it, everybody else is paying for yours.
Yeah, Spoon. You got all those kids that are going to pay for your retirement.
I had 5. I ought to make a good living when it's time to retire. Then.
No. They got to pay for me and Eric. Me and Red too. So.
Yeah. Yeah, because we, I only had one get to 26. It wasn't nearly enough to get me to, ripe old age.
You're still young enough to have another one.
The motor's out of his woman's car. It's not working no more. It's just up on blocks.
That ain't the only woman out there. Just go to a sperm bank. You might have 10 you don't know about.
Right.
We might as well get paid for jacking off.
Boy, he just drove over the hill, didn't he? We was riding that boulder wall of the ridge line. He just went.
What, taking it down? Oh God. No, I can take it a lot further. Keep on. Keep me going.
No.
Oh, come on.
It'll become an age-restricted episode.
It just went from TV 14 to TVMA at the top.
Well, we get swiped from being on to being off when we talk about the libertarians in the election. So whatever. Yeah,
they'll probably let this slide then, huh?
Yeah, this will be fine. No, this will be, suitable for children. Don't tell the children that everybody don't matter. That's how that works.
Hey.
Oh God. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh man, let's okay. Now we can whack off. Okay, Eric, get ready. One's coming.
Oh, that's right. I was the man in the middle, wasn't I?
Eric's gonna go skiing.
I'm skiing.
No, Trey's skiing now.
This camera thing is weird.
Short stroke, buddy. Short stroke.
Short stroke.
Yeah.
No, yes.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. So what else did y'all want to talk about? I know you said something about transgender the other day.
Yeah, they're ruling in Arizona, but transgenders are not allowed to compete in women's sports.
Oh, that's good. Finally.
Yeah, are you trying to rotate the screen, Charlie?
I
was just messing.
Oh, okay. No. Yeah, that's there was that one meme where the guy was like, 340th in the in men's competition, and then when he switched over to being transgender, he was number 1.
I think he was 400. So he was way down there.
Oh, it was way. So, but yeah, I mean, it's speechless. It leaves you speechless because you can't. You still have the physiology, the physique of a male, and you still have all of that goes with it in that regard. And then you want to go and play sports with girls. I mean, are there some very qualified athletic women out there? Sure, they do very well.
It's not going the other direction. the women ain't trying to get into the men's sport, and then if they do, they just get crushed.
Well, see, it's apples and oranges, right? Because women competing in men's sports, yes, they can, and they can, and some of them can be really good at it, but their bodies are different than men's. All right, just like the men couldn't do what the women do, right? We couldn't board children. Our body's not made that way. We can sit here and say, yo, we're strong men, but the women's body for, maintaining certain things and bearing children and stuff, that's what their body's made for and designed for. Our body's not. So therefore we cannot compete with them in that category, right? The same thing if you take women and want to compete in a strong, physical, manly sport, that you got to have strength or speed or whatever. Their body's not designed for that. It's not that they're not equal, or they're not. It's apples and oranges, right?
No, they're two different. Apples and let's go apple and carrot. They're completely different.
That would be like taking the little corgi I got and putting it with Alaskan Husky in a sled race. Is that even?
No.
No,
but we don't care anymore. The new narrative is to just mush everybody's heads into believing something that isn't true, factual, scientific, or anything. You don't follow the science in that department, do you?
It's the dubbers.
Oh,
it's the dubbers.
Look at that.
Maybe you ought to put that dog in a race. It needs to lose a little weight.
I'm just a puppy.
Just don't put it on your tire, Charlie.
Yeah, I killed the first one. I hope I don't kill this one.
Yeah, you'll be buying another one.
Did you do the Griswold station wagon?
No.
Wonder how long he was back there before he just gave up.
He put in a real good fight.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
The movie was funny. Me running over the dog was not funny.
The movie, oh come on now, the movie was funny. That was probably the funniest part. I just wonder how long he kept up. Oh gosh.
Oh, if you don't know the story, Eric, we paid like a lot for this dog, and she named it Ireland. Well, they got out of the house, and me and my son was leaving. I was actually going to vote in wasn't for president. What's the one before?
Primary?
Yeah, primary. And the dog had run out of the ditch, but the neighbors right underneath my tire. I mean, it was right on top of her head. Of course, you should have seen the wrath I got from that. But so, look, I don't know, 6 months, a year later, I went without her knowing. I got this one. We named it Dublin. So I call her Dubbers. But she was born in July, so she's not even a year yet.
Well,
okay.
Don't know why you did that. He swerved.
It was your dog? It was the original dog you ran over was your dog or your all's dog?
Well, it was my wife's dog.
Oh, okay.
But so she named it Ireland. So I picked this one out and took her down to get it, and she didn't know it until we got there to get it. And I was giving her hints, and she wasn't catching the hints. And then I said something about Dublin. Well, I don't know what you mean. Dublin, Ireland. She still didn't get the hint. So she ended up naming it Dublin.
Is she geographically challenged?
What do you mean?
Like not knowing city.
Geographically challenged? Doesn't know what the globe looks like?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know why she didn't get the hint, but
well, as Charlie has a show going on at home too.
Always. We're gonna have to get him out in the shed or something.
We started late, so everybody's up.
Right. Well, and then you were downloading apparently
you downloaded all that only
viruses. Maybe you were looking for a vaccine from Bill Gates.
Yeah.
My joke this morning about that was his wife was his tech, and she doesn't have a Indian accent, so his computer's completely not fixed.
Hello, honey. It's still not working. Help!
I'm fixing that.
You must work at the 7-Eleven.
No. We work Slurpee and we answer phone for Microsoft.
You must wheeze the juice. Wheeze the juice.
That's what you're supposed to do on OnlyFans and get all that money, Spoon.
I'm gonna start
squeeze
putting
the
my
juice.
Rex Ryan. That's who I was thinking about earlier. Rex Ryan. Remember Rex Ryan, Eric? He's the son of Buddy Ryan. He used to be the Bears' defensive coach.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
His foot fetish and sucking his wife's toes and stuff. I'm gonna put pictures of my feet up there. Rex Ryan will be the first one to buy them.
Oh yeah.
Because mine are painted. My little girl makes sure they're painted. One foot's orange, and the other foot's like a.
Oh come on now, show everybody.
Oh my god. Well, I'll try.
Should have made the other one blue. That way you would have been Bears colors.
Yeah, everybody, foot fetish incoming.
Oh,
No, you're not there yet.
It's not that kind of show. It's not that kind of show.
You're giving it away. You're not.
My 6-year-old, she makes sure my toes stay painted.
You're being a bad hoe. You're not getting paid. You're just being a slut.
We went to get a. Good morning. We went to get a. What do you call it?
Oh, I've got pictures of his feet on my. He sent them to me. He's like, oh,
pedicure.
You painted my toes.
We went to get a pedicure.
Free. Oh, speaking of, where?
Uh-oh.
No, I guess it's just us now.
Right.
What in the world did he do?
Well, maybe he wants to be the. Maybe he wants to go skiing.
Now the grown-ups are having a conversation. Oh, there he comes. He's coming back in. What in the world?
There you go. That's what it is. There you go. He wants to go skiing.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of, aren't you?
That looked like a long stroke. That was the wrong TV show.
Are you on the docket for tomorrow, Mr. Spoon?
I don't know. I ain't heard.
You ain't heard.
You
got to go to get your wardrobe ready.
Oh, that's right. This was
tomorrow night.
Oh, well, did the Arizona law affect you?
Maybe.
I don't know. We're not in Arizona.
But anyway, we went to get pedicures one day, and she wanted to get her fingers painted. And she's like, Dad, I'm picking out colors. I was like, oh, great. So she comes back over with 2 different colors, and one of them's just like girliest purple. I was like, come on, can I get a different color? Then she come back with this god-awful girliest hot pink. I was like, no, I'll take the purple. Bring it back. She's like, nope, you had your chance.
Well, I guess you should just. Did you get any standby last night?
Very little.
Very little.
20 minutes, 30 minutes.
You're supposed to park next to all the other trucks there and then take your shoes off and let everyone see your pretty painted toenails.
Yeah.
Polish them up.
Well, I got one coming back early, so I got done a little early.
Where's Red? Oh, worried about some glare, I guess.
Or is that?
Well, it's trying to peek through,
Or is that the back room where he's hiding all his hostages?
Oh, he's getting ready to ship them off to Epstein Island.
Be quiet! You're not getting out of the chains.
What do you think about this laptop thing? Speaking of that,
what is that?
The Hunter Biden laptop that proves all the stuff.
Who has it?
It's all over the place. They finally admitted to it. You weren't allowed to talk about it before the election, but now they've finally admitted that it exists and it's real.
Really? He wasn't smart as Hillary and delete it and destroy it?
Mm-mm. No, he was high on crack and left it at a computer shop. But it has emails from him in Ukraine and all the stuff they were setting up over there. Uh-oh. She's a taxpayer. She's got our Social Security
card. She's picking up booger.
No, she's playing with her mouth. But she picks them enough and eats them anyway.
Yeah. Just get them some extra nutrition.
Protein. You want
Hey,
my
y'all
burger?
are-
Here, you want my burger?
Y'all are from Tennessee and Kentucky, are you?
The people in the middle are. I just live here. I came up here to hide in the woods.
You two assholes are from Florida. That's way worse than Tennessee.
Perceptions vary. Neither one of us is in Florida right now.
I met your parents, so how they got you from them is beyond me.
You ain't met Red's parents.
Well, I said you. I didn't say Red.
Because I went the other way.
Well,
think-
there's
think
one
he
that you won't meet.
Yeah.
His sister?
No.
Oh.
No, his dad.
Huh?
Parents. Speaking of parents, was one you won't meet. My dad. He's gone too.
Well, you won't meet my mom, so. I think they switched Trey at the hospital.
Oh, well. I've never met your dad, even though I've been over to your house quite a bit, Spoon. He just hides. He's a hermit.
That's right.
Spoon said there's days he'll be in there and his dad will come out of the room and go back in the rooms and you don't even notice it.
Really?
Like a ghost. I'm starting to wonder if Amy's got him tied up in there and she only lets him out occasionally.
Maybe that's why he was just talking about you'll get the change a second ago. He wasn't talking to his children; he's talking to his dad. Speaking of having guest stars, maybe that's the guest star you should have on there. He might actually have an opinion.
Yeah, he's got opinions.
He's got opinions.
Oh, I know. We've interacted with him on Facebook.
Who?
His dad. That is your dad, right?
Doug, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Doug? Oh, I don't.
Yeah, in certain posts.
He's got great opinions and great commentary and witty comebacks.
Oh yeah, but he strays a little more to the Democrat side in that regard, right?
Yes, he does.
So, but he usually, I mean, he's always had good points whenever he's come on there.
Believe me,
I especially like it when he antagonizes the super ultra, Trump conservative. That was always so funny. It was always so funny to watch that. Or to read it, I should say.
Me and him, we have back and forth debates about, because he's leans more towards Democrat on everything. But
is he an FDR/JFK type of Democrat, or is he more of a Biden Democrat?
Well, he voted for Biden, but he was born in the 50s, so he's FDR, JFK Democrat.
Okay, so he's a conservative. Essentially,
he even admits that most of the Democrats of the day are just like, the far left and the far right Republicans. They're equally as crazy. So he's only for the good Democrats.
The good Democrats.
Just how come you?
Where they at?
How come you haven't convinced him to just take the plunge into the libertarian?
Well, he agrees with a lot of libertarian stuff.
It's easy. It's not hard. It doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. If you actually look at the platform, it's very easy to accidentally, whoops, I think I'm a libertarian now.
But, he's like we are. He understands that they have control of the platform and stuff, and they're not going to allow the libertarians on the debate stage or a chance to win anything. So he stays put.
National convention.
As soon as we get the wheels turning and get everything pushing towards the blockchain, it will change. It really, I mean, that's the way. That's you'll never cheat again. Doesn't matter. See, that's what I wonder. This is on YouTube. Let's see if YouTube does this. This is just a theory. In 2016, the Russians hacked into all the libertarian votes and gave them to Trump. YouTube will probably allow that speech. You know what I mean?
In 2020, they were hacked in. They were given to.
That will be all. They're going to take us. La 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 la. Don't speak about that.
Okay.
What's that? I can't tell.
No, I'm sorry. I had to dim the screen.
No, I'm just saying, if you were to go on and say, "Oh, Nevada," Reno? I don't want to go to the biggest little city in the country. But
that's the
wrong time
national.
of the.
Is that the
I'm sorry.
national convention?
It said the 2022 Libertarian National Convention, Reno, Nevada, at the Nugget Casino Resort, May 26th through the 29th. I wish it just wasn't so close to when I was having my my son's celebration of life ceremony. I might actually show up there just to go there. It's not that I agree with everything even the libertarians talk about, but one of the things I haven't done ever is, besides going to their website, is actually interacted with a bunch of them, where we all kind of have, let's say, a similar thought. Because I'm sure even libertarians range from the super liberal to the ultra conservative. It would just be kind of interesting to show up and, like a fly on the wall, just walk around and watch. Hell, that would be really interesting if we had done a podcast from there.
Well,
that would have been.
Puddin and I, what was we supposed to go to in Nashville? Was that a convention or what?
They usually hold it in, I think, Lebanon down there.
Lebanon, the state convention, yeah, Lebanon.
Yeah, I think that's the state convention that happens in Lebanon. Sometimes it's in other places. Trying to get them in on the local level is a lot easier because I don't think that, the Russians put all the votes on the Republicans.
Well,
just doing that for YouTube, so they won't. The algorithm will change and they'll push it up to the top.
Well, just like most of your politicians, they switch parties.
JJ.
Right? Like in Knoxville, the mayor used to be the wrestler Kane. You remember Kane, Eric?
I remember the name.
Supposed to have been Undertaker's brother. Anyway, he's the mayor over there. And
really?
But he's a Republican. He was a libertarian, but he ran as a Republican because just like Trump's a Republican, but he was a Democrat his whole life,
Mm-hmm.
They switch to whatever party they know they can win with,
You can't talk about that senile, mind gone, idiot.
Hey,
in his election,
leave Trump alone. Ain't nothing wrong with Orange Man Bad.
The last two, then this one and the one before him. Trump's not stupid, He's not the guy that can't get a thought together like Biden.
Nobody's saying Trump's stupid. He's very intelligent, and he knew exactly what he was doing. But
he's a showman.
The problem I have is with people that think Trump is only there for me. He only cares about me.
No.
Name. Let's be realistic about these people. Put him aside. Name one rich, wealthy white man in power that it's ever given a shit about anyone besides themselves or their family. Could y'all name one that cared about the people?
I hear a cricket.
Anybody want to comment?
I hear a cricket.
George Washington.
He wasn't a rich, wealthy white man.
Yes, he was.
In power.
He was. He was very rich, very wealthy.
Well,
but he was very sad whenever everybody turned on him for not backing France and their revolution. And he quit. He left office.
But see, there's a difference. He wasn't becoming wealthy off the people.
No, that's there is a huge correlation difference there.
He had already had wealth. He had already had money.
Yeah, but the thing is, the classic, government that America used to have, those people didn't go seek that office to enrich themselves further. Which is the problem. You need to remove the wealth from them.
How much was George Washington being paid when he was president?
Probably nothing. It's probably a public duty, public service.
Everything that I know back then, they wasn't getting paid.
No. No,
I don't think so.
It was all voluntary.
They shouldn't be paid.
No.
Unless Charlie, make sure you get that eggplant recipe straight.
Eggplant.
Amy in the background said something about eggplant.
Hey, You need the vaccine? I'm giving vaccines out.
He's got an eggplant vaccine. It's a small one.
Actually, yeah.
That's the vaccine I'm talking about.
You're not be giving it out.
Huh? She said I better not be giving out the vaccine.
No.
She finally figured out what
When did presidents start getting paid?
It's probably somewhere
According
around
to govinfo.gov, when
12th.
President George Washington took office in the year 1789, the salary of the president was established at $25,000 a year.
It says $25,000 a year.
I don't believe everything on
I don't
Google.
believe that. I don't believe that. $25,000 a year in
1789?
What?
No.
No. That's a lot. Oh, no.
What'd that be like now? 25 billion?
$1,500 back then would buy you a farm. $1,500.
It says his salary was equal to 2% of the total federal budget in 1789.
No. I don't believe that. I DuckDuckGo. I don't Google.
DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, DuckDuckGo.
I go DuckDuckGo, but you changed the D to F.
But that was govinfo.gov. That was
corkscrew cocks.
I mean, it's a lot of money back then. It says that vice presidents were paid $5,000 a year.
I don't know. That just doesn't sound right.
The current salary for a president is $400,000 per year, with an expense account of $50,000.
Not to mention all the private security and plane flights the little a-hole can take himself on.
I think that's a stretch going from 25,000 to 400,000. That would be a lot more in the time inflation of what?
That would be something to
250
definitely
years.
look up if you took a tour of DC. You know, you were up there touring.
Well, that was from govinfo.gov. That came from.
I don't believe
that Google or whatever that Googles.
That was a lot of money back then,
right?
Adjusted for inflation, that was like the job to have.
like 25,000. You could own a whole state back then. I want to buy South Carolina.
No, well, and then they said, no, we secede.
It said it was 2% of the federal budget. It was 2% of the federal budget back then.
Okay, so let's see how far down this rabbit hole we've went.
But
the federal budget was $1,250,000 a year back then. Boy.
Well, that can't be right.
Bezos could write that off.
What's 10%? What's 10% of $1.22 million?
10%.
That's 120,000.
125.
All right, so 2% is not 25,000.
Yeah, it is.
No, that's 5%.
No. 2%. Go ahead. I'll wait for you to figure it out, Charlie.
Sorry, somebody's got whipped cream and threatening to get naked, so I'm kind of discombobulated for a minute.
Put them on screen. Our views will go.
Well, Charlie, if that's the only way she'll do that for you, we could do this for you. Tell her
you can
to
just
show
go
up
ahead
every
and X
Sunday.
out again, and we'll finish the show out.
I got money.
You got money.
I need change.
Make it rain.
I need change though.
You need change. How much did you spend on that corgi?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Yeah. More than what you got holding in your hand there. I know that. No, okay.
Designer pets cost a lot.
25,000 is 2%. Multiply that by 5. What is it, Jeremy? What
Yeah.
is it?
You got it.
125.
Then multiply that by 10. 1,250,000. It's just math. I mean, what's that, Spoon?
I got a zero sugar grass-fed beef stick. Country Archer.
That's. I had no idea either. that he took any money. I would have figured, especially back in those days, that it would have been, those men's duty. They would have considered it their duty to serve and not to get a salary for it.
Because they already own massive plantations.
But you said 1789, right?
Well, that was when the Constitution come around.
But is that the first year he took office?
Was that the first year in office?
I thought it was like 86.
No, it wasn't. He would have been president in 89. Because Jefferson come in 1801, I think, or something. Or won in 1800. Well, they always win on an even year, and then it goes to an odd year. 89. It must have been 89 to 87.
1789 to 1797.
Chief of the Continental Army during the American Revolutionary War and served 2 terms as the first U.S. president from 1789.
Okay, let's turn her down. Maybe they allotted a salary, but whether he took it or not might have been different.
Yeah, I don't think he took it. That was the point I was making.
I'll put it to you this way: Jefferson probably was the only one that would have needed it. He was constantly giving his money away. He died broke.
Well, he died very indebted. He borrowed money off of his property and his book collection, stuff like that. Yeah,
Washington probably should have given it to Jefferson, to help float him. Thanks for the Constitution, buddy. Here's your little, here's your only fans. Here's your only fans money.
The Constitution,
But
Jefferson didn't help the Constitution. He was in France.
What did he pen? That was the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
He penned that. It was Madison and his crew got together and did the Constitution.
Yeah, but he still had input in on it, just by letter form.
Via letter, but you think about it, if their constitutional convention lasted, let's say a year, it took probably 3 months to get a letter back and forth across the ocean.
It probably lasted a long year because they wasn't even all in the same room more than once, probably.
For the Constitution? Oh God, they had conventions on that.
I'm talking about during the Revolution.
I think they did that. That was penned in Annapolis, I believe. Madison and.
But with the series John Adams, that he can get a lot across in letters.
He wrote letters, yes, but what I'm saying is if his letter took a month and a half to get here, then somebody has to make a response and send it back. His input on the
he probably got 3 letters in a year. Yeah, probably.
No, what I'm saying is his input was very negligible in the grand scheme of things. We have the Federalist and the Anti-Federalist papers. There were the people who thought it was good and the people who opposed it. Depending on where you want to sit.
Well, I'm sure you had your conservatives and your liberals back then also. I mean, political discord hasn't just come about as
Well, the classic liberal was a great thing. I mean, they really were. They were pushing the envelope for change. But the change they were seeking back in them days was to get rid of kings and princes. And, now the political change they want to do is to make you think that a man is a woman.
Put that banana down. That's just wrong.
It's like, y'all guys, you're like the inmates running the asylum now.
Right.
It's like, no, y'all, you're not, you should be pushing for more freedom. Maybe you should be pushing for the Saudi princes to be ousted.
You want my beef in your taco?
Instead of sitting there, bowing to them.
That's my beef stick. I got my beef stick.
Keep that to your OnlyFans. Stop putting your little beef.
I got 2 of them.
Oh gosh.
Now you could go skiing.
But no, I think Jefferson's input on the Constitution was very bad. He pinned the Kentucky, Virginia papers and tried to put
Come over
some
here
of
and do
the
that.
Constitution in check. What was it called?
Right. Now, how long was Ben Franklin was when was
Ben
him and
Franklin was
Jefferson
never
together?
a president. What?
I know he wasn't president. But he also spent time in France. Was that during the Revolution, or was it actually while they were penning the Constitution also?
Both.
Both.
Yeah. Him and Franklin were in France. They met up over there too.
Oh, okay. They were there together. So you did have correspondence that way also, where Franklin would have been, getting letters also.
The Kentucky Resolution of 1798, the Papers of Thomas Jefferson. That's what it's called. Kentucky and Virginia Resolution. But he penned that in 1798 because he could see problems coming out of the Constitution. The things like people misreading the document and thinking that the Interstate Commerce Act gave him power over, what the states wanted to do. He was a states' rightsman. I mean, Jefferson liberal is the one I would be, I guess, if anything. But people don't even understand the difference between a liberal from then or a liberal today. They're massively different.
Well, I have debates with people now. The states ought to have just like Jefferson wanted, their rights to set forth what they want. Just like our federal indoctrined schools. The schools should be run by the state, by the people who appointed. Not by this federal indoctrination of what the New World Order wants our children to learn, not learn. Healthcare, each state could do their own healthcare. But a lot of people don't believe in that. Oh, we're a country made up of 50 states and how many territories?
That's why I always say I'm a citizen of Florida still.
Yeah.
Two citizens of Tennessee.
I'm a Florida refugee hiding in Tennessee.
Currently, I would be a resident alien in New Mexico.
Resident alien.
No, I'm actually a migrant. I'm a migrant worker.
Don't go down near the border and say you're an alien. Who knows? They may put you in a federal program where you get 3 hots and a cot.
Right? Because I work in New Mexico and still hold my Florida citizenship as far as that goes. Although I do live and reside here.
Do you have to pay New Mexico state taxes on your check?
Yes.
Is it withheld?
How should I come in? I'll go with the 5th.
Okay, that's a good one.
I think there's an address.
Area.
I think there's an address in Midland that my paychecks are being paid to.
Oh, well, you do drive over there, don't you?
Yeah.
You work over there occasionally, so that's good.
Well, since you said something about red going down and migrant, and let's talk about the border crisis. What do you think? What's your opinion on
There's another border crisis?
No, it's just been persistent.
It went away. What are you talking about?
Biden came in. It went away.
Yeah. No. Biden came in and they just said, "Come on over." Whatever.
It's only angry old white guys that believe there's a crisis down there.
Well, what happened? I remember that the previous president said something about they were going to build the wall and complete it, and Mexico was going to pay for it. Did that happen? I don't know. Did it happen?
He kept all his promises. Like starting this, you could draw if, let's say, China moves on Taiwan, you could easily draw a correlation that Trump started a war in a way with the terrorists.
I was going to say Mexico might not have paid for that war yet because it would have had to have been done via tariffs, right?
I guess.
So there isn't anything that way. I mean, I don't know. I really haven't. Honestly, I really haven't heard anything about it since the Cheeto man has been out of office, buddy.
What I mean, it's a big issue down there. I mean, we're spending a whole lot of money to feed and house these people at the border, right? I don't know if
no, they're free. They don't cost nothing.
it costs
Mainstream
us.
media said so. No.
It
Mainstream
costs
media
us.
said
Believe
it
me.
doesn't cost.
But
It cost us inflation dollars.
just like when our former president was in
can't
office, and I debated with these people, I find it ironic that the same people who came over here and stole the land and murdered the Indians want to build a wall to make sure that doesn't happen then. Does anybody else see the irony in that?
I guess it could be an ironic situation, yes.
No, there's nothing happening here. Nothing to see here. Move along. Move along. Nothing to see.
You know, the only I don't know. That's a hard subject, honestly, because I don't if you were I don't think just shutting the border down and keeping a certain group of people out is going to solve anything here currently. As far as that goes, there's a lot of other things that we probably need to start addressing, and if those started to be addressed, then yes, I suppose you would have to stem the flow of people as far as that. But I mean, the rest of the country is so broken, so why not just have a hole in the wall too?
Well, I'm not totally for 100% free open borders so where everybody can come in, right? But I'm not for shutting them down either. All three of us sitting here, guess what? We came from a different country. I'm made up of Irish, Polish, German, English, Cherokee. That's just the ones I know of, right?
Oh, you're one of them filthy engines.
You did a 23andMe or one of those DNA result things?
No.
So how do you know?
If you track your history back, you don't have to go to one of those sites.
Maybe your mom got a visit from the UPS back in the day.
Like my grandparents' name on my mom's side, they're Belcher. They're from a German descent, right? Hitler was great uncle to my great granddad.
Yeah, you're a Nazi.
You're not being facetious. You're being serious.
No, I'm being facetious.
Oh, okay.
was you about to give him the old Zeke Heil?
Well, no. I mean, he rocked his hand and his head, and felt like he was full. It must have been an April Fool's joke. See, I'm late. I'm late on the April.
We're
Fool's
a little
joke.
late on the April Fools anyway.
Yeah, but no, I have German in my background. Also, German and Irish are probably the primary ones, and I can tell you, my grandmother was a resident alien when she passed away. She was a resident alien here from Ireland, so she had never became a United States citizen. So, yes, part of that came, but then my grandfather's family had folks that fought in the Civil War, had folks that fought in the Revolutionary War, as far as that. So.
A lot of my thinking is how many generations on this continent before you could consider yourself a native. I mean, all four of my grandparents are from this continent. 3 of them were born in Kentucky, and 1 was born in Arkansas.
Wait, you figure generation, what, 50 years?
Hmm?
Is that what you figured generation?
I don't know.
About 1920s, 1920s and 30s. My grandparents were all born here.
Yeah, my grandparents were too. 20s.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, at what point do you stop calling yourself a European?
If you're
or descended out of that.
If you're American in the living room, what are you in the bathroom?
No.
European. You got it. European.
All right. All right, Larry. All right, Larry, the cable guy.
What'd you think about that Euro pour? That meme I sent you. Spoon with the Euro pour. I didn't think I sent that to you.
So
Euro pour trying to buy the dip.
did you send that to me on Messenger?
Yeah, I sent it to you. I said you don't ever watch anything I send you.
Was it you said a meme?
Well, it's a Reddit meme. It was from Wall Street Bets. There's a guy spreading out thousands of dollars, and the Euro pour's got like $15 and some change, and he's trying to buy the dip with his little bit of money.
Yeah, I didn't look at it.
Oh no! See,
poor Trey.
Is it the one that said OnlyFans?
Hey, I told him. No, I told you the one about OnlyFans had a hot woman in it, so that's why you watched that. I guess
I didn't watch that one. When it said OnlyFans, I was like, I'm not pulling that up.
It's not OnlyFans, it's on Reddit, dude. You know, you're on OnlyFans showing off your toenails. What the hell? Trying to get all that money from what was it? The Jets quarterback or something?
No, it's a Jets coach, Rex Ryan.
Jets coach, yeah. Okay. Oh, that's what you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah, the son of one of the sons of Buddy Ride.
At Chicago Bears, and I just checked out. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, Buddy Ride was the defensive coordinator. That was Rex Ryan's dad of the Bears.
Why don't you move to Chirac and get on up there?
Infamous 46 defense.
There'll be plenty of weapons floating around in Chicago.
That's right.
I think they got more weapons than Tennessee.
Yeah.
Strict gun control.
Just on the south side, probably.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know how. I mean, as far as considering yourself an American, I mean, I suppose as being an original, none of us may indeed be original anyway.
Well, we know our descendants.
None of us are. There's nobody left that's original,
right? Because even if you look back, whether you want to believe or not, the Bering Land Bridge, the Bering Sea Land Bridge, where people crossed over and came down through that way, and then through that aspect of it, I guess it all would depend on what it is you want to believe as to how creation took place, and
I've been sitting the Vikings.
I seen a meme on my phone last night. I was looking at it, had an Indian and then that Velociraptor, and then the Indian and then the Velociraptor. They were looking at each other, and at the bottom it said the Velociraptor screamed, "Get off my land!" I mean, technically speaking, I just say I consider myself a citizen. Well, I'm not going to consider myself a citizen of the United States. I was born in Florida, so citizen of the state of Florida. But
I would think 3 generations.
Qualified.
After that,
right,
you don't have to look back anymore. And I'm going 50 years as a generation, right?
Oh, so 150 years.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I do know. I know that my father's grandfather, came here from Germany. Or at least is what the story says. He came here from Germany, and so I guess you could say there's another person, directly under, and I'm going to say that had to be that was even before World War One, as far as that he came here, and then of course my grandmother came here after World War II. So I don't. But but like I said, I don't know. I've seen a picture of my great grandmother from my father's side, and Christine says she looks as though she's partial American Indian, and I've never done one of those DNA tests or anything like that to know what I have in me, other than the fact that I know my grandmother is from Ireland, and and I had a great grandfather from Germany, so German and Irish is where I come up.
I mean, in reality, even with the Indians, whichever one you want to pick,
love potato and kraut.
how many full-blooded American Indians are even left?
There's a lot out where Red sits.
Full-blooded. They had cross paths with anything.
Hey, if you've never been to was it? Was that town over there on the Gallup, New Mexico? Yeah, there's a lot of them there.
Oh yeah.
Oh
There.
yeah.
Well, and then even if you go north of Santa Fe.
If you go to Flagstaff and head north out of Flagstaff, there's
Yeah, but you say a
Ton.
lot. You say a lot. A lot to you, and a lot considering the
no.
population of the United States.
them
What do we
areas
think it
are
is?
just
5%? Less?
I don't know. The whole total population, maybe 5.
5%. That's what I'm saying. So,
But if you consider Mexicans just Southern Indians, I mean,
No.
really, well, they are. I mean,
Well, they mix with the native people. I mean, they're
sure they've mixed, but there's still a lot of them that are not
I'm
as.
talking about
polluted.
non-mixed, true, full-blooded American Indians. No matter what,
that's
tribe you are.
Small
Yeah,
percentage.
That's what I'm saying. So, in reality, there's probably less than 5% of all the American people that can say they're true citizens of this country, right? Natural born citizens of this country.
Or citizens of this land, yeah.
Well, no, these days they're citizens of the reservation.
We want to get that debate. We don't have enough time. But my point is, when people try to say,
Like what?
or be discriminatory towards another person about their, color, race, religion, ethnicity, origin, whatever you want to say, we're all aliens to this land at one point in time. We talked about for sure you're German Irish. I know for sure I'm German, Irish, Polish, English, Cherokee.
Big hodgepodge.
Heinz 57.
Mm-hmm.
So what makes, I guess this is a starting point for another podcast. What makes the cruelty of people to want to judge another person based on their origin, ethnicity, color of their skin, race, whatever type you want to use, religion, sexual status, any of that? What makes the person want to judge? And I'm not talking about Christianity versus any other religion. I'm talking about just the person themselves.
Human nature. Just human nature.
I don't think it's human.
It happens, but it happens everywhere, though. It doesn't.
But that's
it's the
people.
It's not exclusive to just here.
No, what I'm saying though, you could take children, let's say age 5 or under, and put them with a different.
They're not trained. They're not brought up in that way.
Exactly. So it's not human nature. The people were training the next generation how to look and treat people, right? Like my little girl's 6. She's just 6, right? So she's still in that threshold. When she goes to school or she goes to the park or whatever, she doesn't see a stranger. She doesn't see color of skin. None of that. I made fun of her the other day because she has Black Barbie out by the front porch laying face down in the grass. I said, "What are you mistreating Black Barbie for?" And she just looked at me and smiled. She had no idea what I was talking about because that was the one she was outside playing with. She just forgot her, right?
Okay. Let's separate it from.
It's not human nature. It's what people were what you say, they're training the next generation. That's why it keeps going.
Age 6 to 18. What happens with your interactions with the other races? Okay.
Government school.
Well, other than government school, but your interactions could form and mold your opinion.
I can say this for a fact, 100% fact. Both of my grandparents on both sides were, in fact, highly racist. Okay, and y'all could probably say the same thing because that was the time that they grew up in and the era. But I didn't carry that over.
I would say
my sister didn't carry that over.
I would say my grandparents on my mom's side weren't racist, but they didn't believe in interbreeding between the races. Grandfather still, he's a pastor his whole life, so I'm just saying they weren't racist, but they wouldn't condone of
Well, I say racist because of the comments they would make, the things I would hear, and they didn't want the interbreeding either. And I'm on the fence about that. I don't, you interpret, you interpret the Bible
your
however you want.
perception on that can be whatever it may
Yeah.
be. But
So
on my dad's side, yeah, sure, racist and everything, whatever.
But the point I'm getting to is it's not human nature. It's not human nature until you learned it from somewhere. Because, like we said, we've all agreed, children like 5 and under, but they don't see any of that.
Again, what I'm looking at is like interactions that happen when growing up from childhood up could give you a long-lasting stained opinion. And that's because once again, you have people of other races that are raised wrong and then they treat you wrong. So naturally, the rest of your life, you carry a burden towards them.
All right, let's not get too far into it. I just wanted to throw that out there. That could be our next week's starting talking point because we're going to do it next Sunday night.
Well, I just you better put that somewhere so we know that that's the starting point, because I would say that a lot of it comes from, your perceptions of growing up with and interactions with the other races. That would be my opinion.
Because I can say, and I think we all could probably say this, I think I know y'all well enough that when we meet someone, it's human that we see what color their skin is, right?
You see the color of their skin and their sex.
Right.
Sex is undeniable, and the color of the skin is undeniable.
But that does not, in my brain, automatically set off who they are as a person. It's the interaction. They treat me with respect. I treat them with respect. I'm nice to them. They're nice to me, right? Because I'll say, hey, how you doing? Spark a conversation. So if they turn out to be an a-hole to you, that's how I determine
how they turn out to be an a-hole to you. They're just an a-hole. It doesn't matter what color their a-hole is.
That's what I'm saying.
I was sitting at the TA East in Ontario one time, and we were laid over for the night. I think it was Sunday or something, and some black guy went walking across the parking lot, and he looked at me, and I waved and nodded at him because he was looking at me, and then he stopped. He come up to the truck. I didn't know nothing about the guy, and I rolled the window down because he was walking over to the door, and he's like, he was from Africa. He was an immigrant, a fresh immigrant, and he's like, I just want to say thank you for waving and nodding at me and being nice, because I just had a black man in the truck stop looking at me like I was a piece of shit because I'm an immigrant from Africa, and I see you and you look kindly and wave. And I was like,
we're all immigrants.
Well, I mean, he's like he was treated, but that's what I'm saying. His interaction with a black man in the truck stop who was born in America gave him a, he's mad at me because I'm here from Africa, and he's my own race, and he's treating me like garbage. And then this white guy sitting in his truck waves at me,
Well, that's the whole point we're going to lead into the next podcast, right? We're going to start with this, and it's going to lead into why a certain percentage of a different race or color, or whatever you want to say, hates white people and blames them for certain things, but they ignore the black on black crime.
It's not, okay.
We're out to bring a shovel.
I said we're going to touch on it.
We're going to get buried.
We're not going to go too far in depth in that, but I just wanted to touch on that because
bring an excavator. Why don't you talk about a shovel?
Just like you just said, the newly immigrant from Africa was treated poorly by
his own race,
but kindly by you. But in America, a certain percentage of that race and the media wants you to think that they're hated by white people. And I don't know why they say white, because I'm not white. I just named like 5 different nationalities I'm part of, different countries. That's not white. You're mixed. We're all mixed, right?
To an extent.
We just have darker or lighter skin than each other. So you as a white person treated better.
Buy some of that red there, red.
And then, but they want to ignore the fact that they have so much crime within their own race.
No, it's crime. It's crime in the bad areas where, they could take George Washington Carver's advice and pick themselves up by their bootstrap. But instead, it's just easier to.
Well, I didn't want to get into that part of it. I just wanted to get into the part where, why do you want to blame the other race if you look at the stats and the realization of it? Y'all were beating and killing yourself daily, and y'all are part of the same race, right? I'm not saying
Hang on a second. I'm looking for tape.
Okay.
I'm looking for some tape.
What you want tape for?
I don't know.
Tape my mouth shut.
Why? Because you want to.
That way, people definitely know. But whatever he's saying, it's all on him.
I'm not trying to say anything negative about anybody. You want to say the white race? I say the mixed race because we're all mixed, right?
I just say that no matter what our perception is that it doesn't. In a certain regard, it doesn't matter what our opinions are. Is that we're, going to be. That's going to just be a touchy subject to go with because it doesn't matter if it's an opinion.
You're going to offend people no matter what. I don't worry about that. If they don't know me as a person and they want to judge, let them judge. Okay. Once they get to know me and know how big my heart is, they would have the right opinion and not the wrong opinion. So I'm not going to worry about all the haters out here and the Karens out here.
I hope we can get us a nice little video clip of you at the tomorrow night.
If that's the case, I will make sure y'all both know, and we will get a video clip. Don't worry. Honey, I need a dress for a fat guy.
Oh, hush.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Charlene. Yeah. Charlene. You're going as Charlene. That's right.
Charlene!
You're going as a swimmer. Then the city council can't say nothing. Kind of like, oh no, what do we do?
So should I write like transgender across my forehead?
Yeah, sure.
Trans. Just write trans. Just write trans, and they can assume what they want to assume.
Back in the day, people used to put on armor and go at each other and joust with spears.
What's wrong there, Red? You little muffled. All right. I think we're gonna end it. Remember, guys, next Sunday night we'll be back on at night with a little bit of adult beverage and.
Yeah, I like the adult beverage.
Start boy, that'll definitely be a can of worms.
A big can of worms.
Yeah, especially if you pull some strings and get to have your 5 minutes at the council. That would be really funny. But,
you just want the pics. That's all you want.
We would put that up on. I'm gonna make it OnlyFans and put that one on there. Go with open toe shoes so everybody can see your pretty pink toenails.
Oh, hey, I'll go in my sandals. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm about done for today.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is Spoon.
Puddin.
Brad.
We're out.
See y'all next week. He's trying to see. He didn't have his name.
I cannot find the button.
You cannot find the button. I told you had the wrong tag.